With everything that's gone on this week, don't you think it's a little bit strange how it's all happened around the full blood moon? Charlie Kirk's death and the incident on the bus all happened within this full moon period. The moon works in rhythms, and so does your subconscious mind. Sun is the masculine conscious mind, fire, and the moon is the subconscious mind, feminine, water. The subconscious mind during this period of the full moon is more accessible and easily programmed. Just be very careful of what we are implanting within our consciousness within this period of the moon. Because the most dominant thoughts and emotions you feel during this period of the moon easily becomes a part of who you are in your subconscious mind. 90% of your thoughts and actions are coming from your subconscious mind. Do animals possess consciousness? Now this will blow your mind. Keep watching. University carried out this experiment by placing paint on an orangutan's head and then showing it a mirror. What the orangutan does next is quite shocking. When the orangutan looks in the mirror, it recognizes himself and even tries to wipe off the paint on his forehead, proving that the orangutan does have self-awareness. But this is what's mind-blowing. Animals only have a one-way consciousness, meaning they're only aware of their five senses and their survival instincts. The animal's thought, emotion, and action is all directed towards survival instinct. But this is why you are so powerful, because humans possess a two-way consciousness. A two-way consciousness means you do have an animal nature where you can only be aware of your survival instincts. However, you can overcome the animal instincts and urges and reach a divine nature. You can look in the mirror, question, who am I? Where do I come from? Where am I going after this? And actually go within yourself and solve these life mysteries yourself. Human consciousness has the ability to explore beyond the five senses. These five senses are limited to the material world, but your conscious mind has the ability to go within and explore the astral plane, the mental plane, and the higher dimensions of consciousness. This is what the Bible means by you are made in the image of God. Your consciousness holds the ability to understand everything about the universe. Plus, you can direct your consciousness, your thought, emotion, action towards things that are highly creative. Animals cannot astral project. Animals cannot go within themselves and lucid dream. These are abilities given to humans. This is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The Sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. The physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a 7-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the 4th state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. Freemasons wear this symbol, which is the same symbol for Gmail. The G is the Masonic G. The M is for the mother, because the woman holds a portal, a stargate into the physical world. That's why they wear it in the genital area. The mother makes you into matter, all M's. Once you are made into matter in the womb, she then delivers the male. Every single one of us came through the mother into the physical world. That's why they're so important. Feminine, nin is 9. Masculine, lin is line. 1 and 9 adds up to 10, which is the binary code of all creation. 0 is the cosmic womb. 1 is the masculine pillar. These are the only two numbers that truly exist. That's why man adds up to 10, and so does Adam. Because we are made in perfection with the numbers. 6, 9. 6 is physical matter, the cube. 9 is spirit, spirit and matter combined. The woman combines your spirit with your physical body. If you feel lost and don't understand reality, read these books. Ever wondered why graduates wear this hat? The hat is a square and a circle. The square created by the square, the circle created by the compass, which is the Freemasonic square and compass. The circle is eternal, no beginning, no end. The square creates the square, which is beginning and end. Spirit and matter, mind over matter, the compass over the square. But in this case, we have the square over the circle, which represents matter over the spirit. The graduation cap symbolizes dominance of matter over spirit, representing the conditioning imposed by Saturnic energy. Hence why it's a black cap for the black cube of Saturn. That's why judges wear a black robe, representing reinforcement and limitation. This is not a coincidence. Is university just conditioning to limit the human mind? Did you know doing this gesture is the Antichrist? Performing this produces the upside down cross. So you touch the head down to the heart, then tap both shoulders, which is cutting the connection between the head and the heart. It symbolizes cutting the connection between the mind and the soul. And the soul is pure love. You know when you hurt someone and you can feel that you've done something wrong inside your heart? That's because your soul is encoded with God's law of love. They don't want us connected with our soul intelligence, the intelligence within you that tells you the right thing to do at all times. This is why we say, follow your heart, and that Christ may dwell in your heart, because the heart is the brain for the soul, and the brain is the temple for the mind. The earth needs to connect more with their heart, because love is the unifying force that brings us all together. Orgasms are ruining your life. When you release, you produce dopamine. Dopamine is the brain's reward system. When you release, you get a spike in dopamine, feeling amazing. This tells your body that you have achieved something. Then your dopamine levels plunge. If you have an orgasm every day, then you are tricking your brain and body that you have achieved something, because you're activating the brain's reward system. This is why you feel lazy, tired, and unmotivated to do anything with your life, because your body already feels accomplished and achieved something. When you stop watching these dirty websites, then your brain will start to seek dopamine in other things, like writing a book or making something out your life. Sex is the best possible feeling that the human body can feel. And if you experience this feeling every day, then you will numb yourself to the little things in life that you won't be able to enjoy, because you're giving yourself the epitome of feelings. When you stop watching porn and releasing, your life will change. Alcohol means body-eating spirit, alcohol in Arabic. Vodka is called spirit. Jinn is a jinn, which is another type of spirit in witchcraft. This is where we get the word jinx from. When you jinx something, it means bad luck, because they hide the spiritual planes from you. They want you to believe everything is just physical. Consuming alcohol destroys the connection between your etheric body and allows spiritual entities to attack your chakra system. Alcohol destroys brain cells, which weakens the connection between your mind and brain. All religions condemn alcohol because it originates from witchcraft. When you are really drunk and you don't know what you're doing, this is when you are fully possessed. This stuff is real, people. If you have the ability to astral project, you can literally see these entities for yourself. These open your mind. This attacks you spiritually. Why do you think these are illegal and this is legal? The sun is electric, the moon is magnetic, male and female, fire and water. The sun gives you energy, it's a positive charge. The moon is negatively charged, taking away your energy. Yin and yang. The earth is darkness, it produces no light of its own. All of the light comes from above, from the etheric and astral plane. The earth is matter, above is spirit. The sun is floating because it's in the etheric plane. As above, so below. All the life comes from above. That's why all religions stem back to the worshipping of the stars, because the material plane is only alive because of the etheric life force. That's why Jesus is the risen savior. He is the sun with the 12 disciples, 12 zodiac signs, and the sun raises every day and saves you. Jesus was not a real person, but an astrological code. Freemasons call themselves traveling men. They move from the west to the east. West, where the sun dies. East, where the sun rises. Symbolic of rising from darkness to light, from death to rebirth, from survival to creation. We've been programmed to stay in survival mode, money, bills, stress, and daily grind. But the true power of the mind isn't just to survive, it's to create. Why do you think the most powerful people, builders of empires, industries, are Freemasons? Because they understand self-mastery. They don't just build structures, they build powerful minds. In Freemasonic paintings, you'll see the images and symbols of tools. These tools are not for construction, but for the transformation of the inner self. They represent the mastering of thought, emotion, and consciousness, building a strong mind, because a chaotic mind cannot create. West to east, left brain to the right brain, logic to creativity, it's all symbolic. Master your mind and you master your reality. They've lied to you about geometry. Every frequency has its own geometric pattern. Physical matter is just low vibrating energy at a specific frequency. Everything is vibration, vibrating on a specific frequency, which creates a different geometric pattern. Everything contains geometry. They tell you this is God's mathematical codes behind this reality. The true geometry is within you. Brain is an energy decelerator. Nothing around you is physical, it's energy, and your brain condenses it into a reality that you can interact with. Light enters the eyes, it turns into electricity and goes to the optic nerve to the visual cortex, and it creates an image in the brain. Therefore, you are not in the world is within your brain and body. You're experiencing a simulation by your nervous system. Therefore, geometry is actually your brain's mathematical codes on turning energy into matter. These geometric patterns is basically your brain's way of decoding energy. Nothing is outside of you and you are projecting this reality, the creator and the programmer. Human is hue-man. Hue is an attribute of a color. Color is light. Hue is light, man is manifested. We are light manifested in physical form. We are holographic electromagnetic beings. Heart rearranged is earth. The heart chakra is green and the earth is green. And the sky is blue and the throat chakra is blue. You're not a body inside of a universe. You are the universe experiencing itself, a microcosm form. Nothing is separate from you. You are all things. Religion has just externalized these teachings. The human body is liquid crystal. There are CIA documents which reveal that. Radios use crystals to pick up frequencies and turn them into sound. Your body works the same way. Your pineal gland has crystalline structures that act like an antenna. Your body is a radio, tuning into the infinite stream of consciousness, the mind of God. We are all God in human form, experiencing life through the illusion of separation. God created the 3D world to experience himself instead of the oneness. You don't need to go to church to connect with God. You are God. The key is going within through breathwork, meditation, and inner awareness. Religion was made to externalize this truth to keep you away from your own divine power. Did you know the only difference between water and ice is a state of vibration? Now think of your desired reality. Only difference between your desired reality and your current circumstances is a state of consciousness. You can become the reality you want before you physically have it. If you observe closely, it's not actually the job that you hate. It's the emotion, the thoughts, and the state of consciousness that job makes you feel. Therefore, it's not the job that you want to change, it's the state of consciousness. By using our thought, emotion, and imagination, we can become the reality in a state of consciousness before physically having it, and watch your outer world rearrange itself to match your new state. Think about this. Your life is a direct correlation of every thought you thought in the past, which means your world is an externalization, a materialization of your thoughts and mind. Most people live in a cycle of the external world manipulating their inner world, not realizing their inner world is projecting the outer, which produces a cycle of constant negative manifestation. But when we stop, when we change our inner world and we act, think, feel as if we are already living from the wish fulfilled, that's how we produce effect in the material world. This sign is not the devil horns, it's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. See the man standing on the moon. This represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the five senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Did you know the sun setting is the symbol for Libra? And the scales of Libra represent the balancing of the sun between the summer and the winter. A yearly cycle is a daily cycle. Spring is the morning, summer is midday, Libra is the evening, winter is the nighttime. And did you know your body is ruled by the zodiac signs? Libra rules your core, and the muscles in your core help anchoring your center of gravity, which gives you the ability to balance yourself, just like how Libra is the balancing scales. There's no way this is all just a coincidence. This is evidence that we live in a beautifully designed world, that the sun's rhythm and balance manifested in your body as the balancing core. And this is why wisdom is wealth. If you look at the Matrix, Neo's plugged in on the back of his neck, right into the reptilian brain. This part of the brain doesn't think, just reacts. It's all about survival, running on pure instinct, just like everyone trapped in the Matrix. When Neo is unplugged, he's freed from the reptilian brain. His name Neo represents the neocortex, the part of the brain that allows critical thinking, learning, and expansion. That's the real way of escaping the Matrix, overcoming fear, breaking free from the programming, and activating the higher consciousness. Neo worked at a place called metacortex for a reason. This is all about transcending the lower mind and mastering the self to the higher parts of the brain and human potential. How to enter a meditative state instantly. Get present. Bring yourself into the moment by repeating affirmations. I am here right now. Nothing else matters. Say this for 5 minutes to anchor your awareness. 2. Shift your focus. Direct your attention to the back of the brain or your breath. The back of the brain does not think.
It's hanging around.
So this quiets the mind, allowing your consciousness to expand beyond the clouds of thought and connect with your true self. 3. Breathe with intention. Inhale deeply through the nose, filling your lungs completely. As you exhale, let your breath out slower than you took it in. Do this for 15 or 30 minutes and you'll naturally enter a meditative state. Never breathe through your mouth. This is for emergencies only, and this is what dogs do. The number one mistake people make is that they take people's hate personally. You must understand that people's hateful comments are just reflections of their negative state of mind, their negative state of consciousness. I'm hated by millions of people, and if I took it personally, I wouldn't be here today. Please don't let other external things manipulate your internal world. If you can change your inner world to feel a certain thing, you can produce effect on your outer world. So don't let no one change your inner world. Have an amazing day. I've noticed something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me in. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fire started. And many people have reported electrical wires from the power grid causing these fires. And of course, the water supply has been cut off. And don't you think it's a bit weird in this picture that all of the trees stay standing but the houses aren't? Of course, this is for educational purposes only, and I'm not claiming anything. And then we go to Google and type in 2028 Smart LA City. What a coincidence they want to build a smart city in LA. And of course, it's a lot easier to build a whole city if there's no buildings there. Of course, this is just for educational purposes only, and I hope everyone is safe over there. Thank you. There's a secret code behind every ancient Christian painting. You're probably not going to be a Christian after watching this. When we add spheres to each one of these points on this Holy Trinity painting from the 1600s, what it actually shows is the Kabbalah tree. This is literally undeniable. You cannot not see it once you see it. Religious texts are encoded esoteric scriptures. In fact, every religion we have today stems back to the secret teachings of the Kabbalah. You think you're the body. We are not our body. We are not our thoughts. We are the soul. We have a soul, mind, and body. Jesus is the body. The Father is the mind. The soul is the Holy Spirit. Christians have been tricked. Jesus didn't ask to be worshipped. He wanted us to live by his teachings. Turning water into wine wasn't literal. Water is emotion. Wine is transformed emotion. We must transmute our negativity. Walking on water is no different than believing in Santa who drops off presents every year. It's meant to be emotional control. Walking on top of water, our emotion. The world is in chaos because we don't understand the hidden parables. We lack understanding, and this is why we have war, fear, division, and uncontrolled emotions. Stop worshipping. Start embodying his teachings. Belief alone won't save you. You must rise above the lower mind. Don't make this mistake. When I woke up spiritually, I went straight into chakras, energy work, and cleansing my aura. I thought this was the key, but I was wrong. The only thing that truly matters is mastering the mind. When you train your mind, you gain control over your emotions, your body, and your energy. You don't have to force your vibration to rise or try to balance your chakras. They naturally align when the mind is in check. Don't get lost in the external. Focus on your mind. Once you master that, everything else follows. Your spirit, your body, and your soul will fall into place. Freemasons are satanic according to Christians, yet King James, who commissioned the Bible, was a Freemason. He even wrote a book on demonology, what Christians call witchcraft. So they're believing a book which was written by a Freemason. We live in a scripted reality. The Bible has been altered to match the events playing out today, making it seem like a divine prophecy when it's actually a long-term plan. Revelation, it's not unfolding naturally, it was scripted by those in power. They've been following the plan for generations. So the question is, are you following the script or seeing through the illusion? The Twin Towers are an 11. Flight 11 was hijacked. New York is the 11th state. There were 11 crew members on the flight. 9/11 adds up to an 11. New York in gematria adds up to 111. Freemasonic pillars are an 11. With the black and white checkered board, black and white add up to 11. 11, 11. Black is matter, white is spirit. Was this just a Masonic ritual? I'm not making any claims, but I'm just pointing things out. Music is magic, putting you in a hypnotic trance so that it can access the back end of your consciousness, the subconscious mind. This is all to do with your memories, programs. This is why you can remember the lyrics so vividly, because everything in the music is made specifically to ingrain your subconscious and mold your consciousness to their agenda. This is why everyone's dressing the same and thinking the same thoughts and into the same interests, because we're all being conditioned through the music. The music has a profound influence over fashion and everything in society. Elon Musk with the Omega symbol. What does this mean? Omega is the last letter of the Greek alphabet. It represents the end. This is the 24th letter of the Greek alphabet. Last year was 2024. This was the end. 2025 is the new beginning. These are just some of the codes that the elite speak to us through symbolism. Look at the dollar bill. The dollar bill has an omega on it, representing the last physical currency we will have before moving towards a digital currency. They show us these things through symbolism before they actually do it. Is it just me, or does the world seem as if it's losing its color? There's even been images of this taken in 2021 compared to 2023. Who remembers seeing the sun as a yellow ball of energy? Now we just have this white light. Like, what are they doing? Personally, I think this is the result of weather manipulation, geoengineering, EMF towers, and pollution. As a child, I remember sitting in nature and you would be covered in insects. Now, when you go into nature, you hardly see any. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. This cartoon shows you that you are far more than your physical body. Humanity has lost this ability to activate their spirit, or the astral body, fully enslaving us in this physical plane.
Okay. Man, this is screwy. Maybe it's the can of beans we had for dinner. Looks, homey. Whoa. Oh, right.
I want you to ask yourself something. How does this embryo grow a nervous system? How does it know what to do? What's the intelligence behind it? Well, my friend, this is the same intelligence that's telling your heart to beat right this second, that's telling your stomach to digest food without you being conscious of it. This is what we call the subconscious, Our subconscious mind is connected to an infinite intelligence. It's amazing how God works. Parents are a pair who rents. Because you don't own your child, you sign them away using a signature. You signed your nature with a sigil. A sigil is a symbol used in witchcraft. Oh my God! You are born into this world, and the word born comes from barren, which means lifeless, dull, and boring. Then you are controlled by the government, the governmentality. They control your mind. Everything physical began as a thought in the thinking mind. The mind is the root cause of reality, so they control your mind, not your body. They do this by broadcasting spells to north, east, west, and south, the news. My God! Wow! Then they teach you the vowels in this specific order, A, E, I, O, U, to teach you that you owe them to become a slave. You are weak in the weekdays because you are working. Where you were a king, you are no longer a king if you are working. Then on the weekend, you are weakened from the weekdays. Days is a daze where you are in a state of confusion. The television is used to tell a vision, to program you on the programs. They want you to think slaughter is laughter, hello is hell is low. Words are swords because they mold your mind. They also create three-dimensional sound waves which impacts the fabric of matter. I believe that we were never meant to use words. Language has been manipulated so that we no longer use telepathy because we are all connected on the mental plane. We still have telepathic powers which we call intuition. They tell you aliens built the pyramids, but history tells you slaves did. The truth is neither. Alien is a lie. They don't exist, they're a lie. We can't even replicate these structures today. That means the builders knew something that we don't. This physical world is the lowest dimension there is. Everything is a shadow of the higher plane of consciousness. Every object you seek first begun in the mental plane, the mind, as an idea. No, the mind is not your brain. It's a spiritual force behind all of creation. These pyramids, these cathedrals, they are physical manifestations of the ancient human mind, proof of a lost intelligence far beyond what we have today. They want you to think we were dumb back then. We were smarter. They hide the truth to keep you weak. The most important thing you can learn is that the universe is mental. You don't need coffee. You need charging. Coffee gives you fake energy. Energy you gain off coffee is a toxic chemical reaction in your brain, which fries your dopamine receptors. Your body is a bioelectric piece of technology. Number one thing your body needs is electricity and bioelectric energy. You gain electrical energy from the sun, magnetic energy from the earth, and electromagnetic energy from fruits. Fruits crystallize the sunlight, giving your body bioelectric energy. Your heart is not a pump. It's an energy vortex generator, which turns the water in your blood to plasma, feeding your body with bioelectrical energy. Cardiovascular system, the tree of life in the Garden of Eden. Your nervous system, the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Heart gives you life, the brain gives you knowledge. When you place hot water into these cups, they release thousands of microplastics into your water, because inside they're laced with plastic. Your head has this spiral, which is the Fibonacci sequence, which comes from the rotating fields of magnetism. If you look down on this electromagnetic field, you would see the lotus of life. Everything in nature contains this spiral, because everything comes from these electromagnetic atoms. That's why you have an anatomy, because you are a giant atom. Fibonacci is the only symbol that can go for infinity. Connects the macro with the micro. The macro is the earth atom. Micro is you. You are just a smaller version of the universe. That's why your head has this spiral, revealing you are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Think again if you think Jesus is real and the earth is round. They are trapping your soul in the earth. Every ancient culture has this seven-headed serpent. The serpent represents transformation because snakes shed their skin, symbolizing growth, renewal, and evolution. You are not just physical, you have 7 energy systems in your body of the 7 snakes. This was not actually a real 7-headed creature. This was the worldwide religion. I don't like saying religion, it wasn't a religion. It was the wisdom for spiritual transmutation, of transforming the 7 energy systems in the body, turning you from a material being into a spiritual being. It was all about ascending this physical, mortal body. Close your eyes, there is a being inside of you, a voice that no one else can hear but you. That is the spirit they wanted to ascend out of this body, because you are still in the womb. Body is a womb for your consciousness, and you can be born out of it into a new reality. Unless you are born again, you cannot see the kingdom of God, John 3:3. What if I told you Lucifer runs this whole matrix, and Lucifer is not what you think it is? Lucifer is not some red demon with horns. Lucifer is a type of energy, the kind of energy that seduces you with light. That's why the word Lucifer means light bearer. Lucy means light, fer means to bring. It's the kind of energy that appears beautiful, that feels like it's helping you, and looks like a blessing. But behind the mask is something else, something hidden and dark. Take a celebrity, for example. They embody brilliance, talent, charisma, beauty. They look divine. But through the music and their films, you're being subconsciously programmed. You're being manipulated and pulled into mental slavery. That's Luciferianism. It's not the obvious evil. It's dressed in silk. It's destruction that feels good or looks good. Even your eyesight can be Luciferic. Look at your eyes. The sigil of Lucifer is how the brain sees and how the eyes work in reality. Light enters the eyes, and an image is produced in the visual cortex. The physical world is dripping with temptation, money, looks, fame, lust, comfort. It lures you in, feeds your ego, and makes you forget who you are. And by the time you realize it, you've traded your soul for a lie. That's how the light bearer works. Not by force, but by seduction. Lucifer is the evil dressed in good. It's a type of energy that seduces you into losing and corrupting yourself. Have you ever wondered what that high-pitched noise is in your ear when you are silent? Well, it turns out you can use that high-pitched noise to do something very mystical with yourself. Your brain is not one system. It consists of two hemispheres, a feminine right brain, Isis, a masculine left brain, Ra. The brain does not produce consciousness. Consciousness is downloaded into the brain. The brain is a computer that simulates this physical reality. The noise you hear in your ears can be used to align the brain hemispheres, which will unlock higher states of consciousness, maybe even out-of-body experiences. In order to unlock your consciousness, the electrical system of your brains need to be working together and not fighting each other. And that's what that noise is in your ear. The noise in your ear is the noise of the electricity in your brain. By closing your eyes and listening to that noise, you can actually sync the brain hemispheres. Or you can do it in an artificial way. And when the two electrical systems become one, you unlock consciousness, which is the Holy Land of Israel, Isis, Ra, and El. The Holy Land in the Bible is not a real place, but a place in your consciousness where you can go to and rise above the thoughts, where it's eternal peace, no thoughts. Simply just meditate and focus all your attention on that high-pitched voice in your ears. If you do this long enough, you will have a very mystical experience. Israel is not the Holy Land. The Holy Land is in you. Isis, Ra, El. Isis, the feminine right brain. Ra, the masculine left brain. The Holy Land is when the left brain and the right brain join together, unlocking the Holy Land, consciousness, El. The word El means God. You enter the Holy Land by turning off your senses, your thoughts and emotions. When they're all turned off, you experience pure awareness, pure peace without the chaos of the mind and the body. And when you meditate, you will naturally align your brain hemispheres. The Holy Land is a place inside your consciousness that you can go to escape the chaos of the mind, the body and the emotions. Going to Israel, Jerusalem is not going to do anything. The Bible is symbolic. Jesus was not God. Religion is demon worship. If you follow a religion, you need to listen. Physical world is shaped by the mental world. This object was a thought in the mind before it was physical. All creation begins as a thought, then imagination, then energy, then physical reality. Thoughts shape the astral plane, same dimension you use when you imagine something and when you go to sleep. This is where spirits are. You have a personal mind and a collective mind of the whole world combined. And we all agree on a certain thought. This manifests as an energy in the imaginative plane. It will literally create a demonic consciousness because the collective consciousness is vibrating very low and we think negative thoughts. If you believe in Christianity, the collective thoughts of Jesus and the negative emotional energy we give him when we pray manifests as a whole collective being in the astral plane. You are worshipping a false god, deity created by the collective consciousness. True God is your soul, because your soul is connected to the source consciousness of the universe. The correct way to worship God is by aligning your mind and heart with higher consciousness and higher principles, and purifying yourself.